In 1958, an obscure brick building on the corner of Cherokee and Sunset in Hollywood, California, then actually being used as an automotive garage, began its life as the most iconic contributor to popular music of the entire 20th century. This is the story of Sunset Sound. Sunset Sound Studios, high quality in a historical custom setting. This venue has been in business for over 65 years and has contributed to over 300 gold records. In 1958, this brick building behind me was purchased as an automotive garage to be repurposed into a world-class sound studio on the corner of Cherokee and Sunset in Hollywood, California. These behind me were open bays. The floors and some of the walls were tilted at somewhat of an angle to allow for the easy drainage of automotive fluids. As it turns out, non-parallel surfaces are ideal for artistic acoustical control. Tutti Camarata was Walt Disney's director of recording. Audio for Disney films produced here include 101 Dalmatians, Mary Poppins, Bedknobs and Broomsticks. In the early years, the audio for dozens of Disney films was produced here. Mr. Camarata joined the 6650 Sunset building along with two other residential structures to form the existing complex. You know, it really pains me to see this like this because the Doors walked right through there when they recorded The Doors, as did Janis Joplin, as did Prince, though more than likely he drove into the back in the early 80s, as did so many other artists. So just who recorded here, you might ask? Well, to name a few, there's 3 separate studio rooms in total. The Surfers, Elliott Smith, Social Distortion, Sugar Ray, Mary Lou Ford, Van Halen, Led Zeppelin, Sheryl Crow, Smashing Pumpkins, Matthew Street, Ringo Starr, Elton John, Celine Dion, Earl Clough, Alanis Morissette, Michael Jackson, Toto, Lita Ford, Robert Palmer, Dan Fogelberg, Hiroshima, The Wallflowers, Beck, Mr. Mister, Stevie Nicks, Melinda Carlisle, Kix, Desert Rose Band, Air Supply, Counting Crows, Deborah Harry, Jody Watley, Neil Diamond, Rita Coolidge, Lionel Richie, Sam Phillips, Fleetwood Mac, Tom Jones, Dolly Parton, Kenny Rogers, Ry Cooder, Richard Marx, Aretha Franklin, Tom Waits, Neil Young, Crowded House, Bob Dylan, Jennifer Holliday, Olivia Newton-John, Melissa Manchester, Barbara Streisand, Roberta Flack, Rick James, Paul McCartney, James Taylor, Macy Gray, Bee Gees, Doobie Brothers, Whitney Houston, Barry Manilow, Oingo Boingo, Luis Miguel, Rolling Stones, Dave Grusin, Crosby, Stills and Nash, Lee Ritenour, Foreplay, Richard Thompson, yes, The Beach Boys, Fishbone, Randy Newman, Sly and the Family Stone, Vonda Shepard, Tom Petty, Sheena Easton, Patty Austin, Aaron Neville, Sam Cooke, The Turtles, Lovin' Spoonful, Buffalo Springfield, Janis Joplin, Genesis, Kenny Loggins, Jackson Browne, Soundtrack Dick Tracy, Soundtrack Dune, Soundtrack Days of Thunder, Soundtrack Rocky 2 and... Up until about 1971 or 72, it would have been this gate that Janis Joplin or the Doors had used for entrance. Later, the security gate was put in over in the back on Leland Way. So, you know, the whole point of this video is you really should take a really good look at this because I don't think it's going to be here too much longer. Basically, almost everything to the west of here on this side of Sunset is slated for demolition. Literally, they're pulling stuff out and tearing down buildings right now. This particular corner is far too valuable to sit here in the condition it's in, as opposed to being used for high-density residential construction, which is what's going to happen to just about everything around here. Yes, that's Hollywood High School across the street. And by the way, legend has it that this building right here in 1936 was the soda fountain ice cream store where Lana Turner was discovered. That's not going to be here too much longer either. Now, this property eventually comprised the entire block all the way to Leland Way. During the tracking of strange days, Morrison would often sneak off across the street to the Crossroads of the World or the Blessed Sacrament Catholic Church. One day in 1967, also during the tracking of strange days, James Fortune took a picture of Morrison taking a break off the Cherokee entrance. And that behind us right there is the elusive Morrison Gate. I don't know anyone else who's found this, but now there it is. That used to be an open bay to allow vehicles to come in, but this part right there is exactly the same. Somewhere behind me right there, I can't quite see it today, I'll look at the footage a little bit better later, is where Prince met Sheena Easton at the basketball court. That infamous basketball court had many introductions, entailing Elton John, Prince, many artists. You know, no one really knows for sure what the exact fate of this storied location really is. But I can tell you with some certainty that 3 blocks to the west of here, just about the entire 3 blocks, has been pretty much boarded. So the studio compound and its parking lot runs block to block all the way from Sunset Boulevard all the way back to Leland. exactly is it that makes this such a coveted location for recording albums? And of all the music studios in Hollywood, what I mean is so much in demand that musicians the likes of Prince would spend months and months of their lives here. Well, the answer to that is a lot of things, the acoustics being just one of them. Listen to The Doors' Riders on the Storm. After that track was laid down, many artists wanted to reproduce that sound. And really, it could only be done here. But by far, Sunset Sound's most valuable commodities have always been its staff of industry professionals, its sound engineers, its cutting-edge technology, and Mr. Camarada himself. So it hasn't been lost on me that there's about 35 cameras all around this place, and I want to thank the Camarada family for letting me come and go over the past couple of days so I can tell my story the best way I can under these particular circumstances. And by the way, today is June 16, 2025, and this place looks fantastic. And when you consider this part of Hollywood at this particular time in history, that is no easy feat.